Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Go to our website, sign up for the free membership at StockBookie.com for more videos like this, live streaming action, email alerts, trade ideas, and some educational stuff. All right, let's get right to the daily SPY and just a non-volume 57 million kind of a day. Floating up, we were 12 cents up or 0.87 on the S&P index. Again, waiting on Grandma. Tuesday, Wednesday, see what lip service she brings. Most likely she will raise the rates, but at this point, who knows? She could be waiting on data, and if she's waiting on data, I don't know if these markets are going to have any more of the crap, and we could possibly sell off. We still have an area around 240.28. Next area would be 242.39. If it continues up, we're looking at the 252.14 area or so, or 250 even number if it starts to move up on us. The other thing we're looking for, if we are support, we did hit into the 20 MA 2 day, or I think it was last Thursday. We also filled the gap, hit the 20 MA, bounced up, a little bit of a retrace. Now we're just chopping around sideways, pretty much going to do nothing. I think we're going to be flat until Wednesday, but we'll see what tomorrow brings us. If we do have another light volume day, we're going to be doing nothing. It's pretty simple, guys. Unfortunately, that's just what the market's given us. So when we're traders, that's what we have to take and make trades accordingly. So let's get into the IWM. IWM, same thing, 32 cents up, light volume. You can see here the selling that's coming up. You can see the volume picking up a little bit. And today we have a light volume day, about half the volume that we were, almost half the volume that we had on Friday, and we were stayed a little buoyant. They did try to get it above the 50 MA here, went right up into it, came right back in. Again, still weak, down, sideways, bearish action. Still need another week or two. Consolidation could possibly bring these markets down. They did get it back above this trend line here, and still below the 50, so a little bit weak, but again, you have to respect the volume. We could possibly float up. After hours, we're up a whole 7 cents. So nothing wrong though. Still above the 200 moving average. It is below the 50 and the 20. So let's just see what this market gives us the rest of the week. Wednesday will be the big day. And I think there's a debt ceiling thing coming up and a couple other news related items that could possibly move the markets. But at this point, nothing wrong. They could push it right back up and then continue. If it does go up, if you're a bull, you need to get above this 140 or the all-time high 140.86. Then we can continue going up possibly to 145, 150 area. If you're bearish, you want to see more consolidation and this thing's starting to break down. Big areas would be double bottom down here and then double bottom around 133. If those crack, I really do think if this thing gives it up, I think we're going right down to the 200 MA and possibly lower. So keep track of that. So, all right, let's go into the Qs. The Qs, same thing, right back to the all-time high. He's not giving it up. All the Amazons, the Netflixes, the gold, Googles, Facebooks, Apple was up only 6 cents, but all the tech's going. It's rally time, guys, for this. I see CNBC Paulson came on saying, we got more room to run, guys, after a huge move like this from 2009. We got more room to run, baby. It's just like every other time, guys. When it was the dot-com boom in 2000, crash, we go up into the 2007, comes down, and then boom, we go straight back up. And we're even past the 2000 high, so I think everything's okay again. So just listen to him, buy the markets at the highs, and rally this bad boy up. So, no, I'm just kidding, guys. It's been a long day. We had a great live session today. Again, sign up for the StockBookie.com. You'll get an email alert before we go live, and then we do live streaming right on the fly, looking through stocks, trying to figure out which way they're going. Scalp trades, put on some new swing trades, and just trying to have a little fun in these markets. So, but again, Qs straight above the 20 and the 50 and the 200 moving average, nothing wrong. If you're bullish, you need to keep pushing up through the all-time highs. and then continue up to the maybe 133, 134, 135 area. If this thing does not continue to move up and we get a nice reversal, then look for a close below the 20 MA. And then we got to wait for pattern. We have some, trend lines down here that will get some support. We have the Fibonacci levels, the 50 MA, so nothing wrong at this point. We'll revisit this if this thing starts to come in. Then we'll wait for pattern and see how this thing develops. Even if it pulls back, you get by the dippers, come in and probably push it back up. If the light volume prevails, then we could just stay here floating, maybe a little slight pullback, but we'll have to see how this thing goes in the next couple of days. The DIA, which is the Dow Jones, 21.50 down on the day. This one was 21 cents down. Nothing wrong. Little choppy, sloppy consolidation above the MA. Slightly bearish. We did fill the gap here the other day, so we're just chopping around sideways inside this bar. Let's see where we go in the next 4 to 5 days, possibly in the next week. If it does set up sideways like this, we have a good possibility of moving down. If it does not move down and the 20 and the gap fill holds, then you're looking for to recapture the all-time high, 211.59, and possibly 215, maybe 220. But, one day at a time, guys, we still need to get back above these areas. There's a small gap to fill here, double top, and then we'll go from there. And then coming down, if I put a fib down here, we'll have some good levels of support. But we'll see if this thing sets up just like all the other ones for maybe some more downside. Again, if you're bearish, you need to get below the 20 MA, and then we'll continue there and look for pattern. The IYT, this one was a little bit weaker than the rest of the indexes, but still nothing wrong with this one. It did have a slight pullback. We've been talking about this up, down, up, and almost through it, and then right back down. We did get below the 50 MA. Once again, it was above it during the intraday action, but we ended up coming back and closing, so you got to keep an eye on this. If this continues sideways, this is setting up for lower prices as well. If this bearish pattern fails, we'll pop up. If you're bullish, you need to get back above the 20 MA and continue moving up into double top and then possibly rip higher. 175 to 180 possibly. You do have a little bit bullish consolidation for the last couple months here. Let's see if that plays out, or does the little micro pattern here start to go sideways for the next 5 to 10 days or what have you, a week or two, and then does it set up for the next leg down? If it does move down, target price is around 151 for me. Moves up, 175 to 180 possibly, but we got to get through some resistance, just like we got to get through some support coming on the way down. So be careful with these markets. The USO only down 1 cent on a day. Low pivots holding this action here, right here. You had a gap fill. So as it was coming down, it was starting to slow down. And that's pretty much what they're giving us. Monday, light volume market. Just really doing nothing. I just want to look on here real quick. Yeah, we did crack down here. We're black below the moving averages on the weekly. So this one's a little bit weak. But now we're just waiting for patterns after this move down. We can move right back up on a retrace. Or do we just chop around here sideways, setting up for the next wave down? So again, not enough on this chart to tell me which way this thing can go. We do have a little bit of a doji that could tell us a little higher prices possibly to come. But with the central banks on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Janet's lip service, who knows where this thing could go? Up or down, sideways, straights, cross, nothing. Watch for volume 2. But at this point, it's been a nice sell. We took some of the SCO off. We're still short the USO, only a small position in that. We wanted to trim the SCO off because it was a heck of a move. So take the money and run, guys. UUP, again, 4 cents up on the day. We did get back above the 20 MA and the 50 MA, and we closed. So let's keep an eye on this. Still slightly bullish. We're back above the MA, so it makes it a little bit more bullish. But again, just chopping around. We had a nice retrace back up. Off the, retrace back down, sideways here in a slight bullish manner, got back above the 20 MA. I want to see more follow through before this thing starts moving up. If it can't recapture these highs, go for this pivot, gap fill, then, at least even this high too to 26.42. If it can't make it through there, we'll probably come back down, retest these lows, and possibly go to the 200 moving average. If you're bullish, you need to get, like I said, past this pivot, gap fill, double top, and it could possibly go higher. You're looking at 27.21, 28. There's a level around 29 bucks too on the UUP. Let's look at the GLD. GLD, nothing wrong, up 2 cents, came back in, chopping around, holding the weekly 20 MA. Let's go right to that, see if it stayed above it. So the week, yeah, look at that. So it closed above the 20 MA. This is a weekly close, so it's good today. Let's see where this thing closes on Friday. This could have been a little head fake pull down from resistance to 200 and the 50 MA, and plus the resistance on the daily chart as well. If you go back to the daily here, just to show you, you had the 200 MA up there, so that was big resistance. So right now we're holding this area okay. You know, we talked about the 115, and you had the gap filled down here around 113, 114. So it could still squeak down here, maybe fill the gap here and fill the gap at this one, and then maybe go up. But again, not enough here on the pattern to tell me what this thing can possibly do, other than a little bit pullback. We're back below the 50 MA. It is chopping around. As long as we stay inside this bar, we'll be okay. Needs to get back above the 50 and the 20, then could possibly continue up. We'll keep a close eye on this one. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for me today. I got to take off early here, have a baseball game for my son, and hopefully you guys are visiting me on my live streams during the intraday action. Come to my website, sign up. It's free. You get an email before we go live, and boom, bring a symbol. Let's look at it. Let's see which ones you guys are looking at. We'll look for patterns, head and shoulders, you know, anything, guys, to tell us which way these things are going. So let's come in, join the session. Let's have some fun. Bring a symbol with you, and we'll go from there. All right, that's it, guys. But thanks again for coming. Thanks again for subscribing, signing up for the StockBookie.com site. Follow me on Twitter, following me on StockTwits. It's been an amazing run the last year and whatever months doing this. I love it. I love the trade. I'm just trying to find the best setup to put us in so we could possibly make some money in these markets. So, all right, guys, thanks again for coming. God bless. See you on the charts.